Alright, welcome back. So, first thing on the schedule is Judge Logan, set tax policy, talk to Reaver, consider proposal to rebuild Bowerstone Old Quarter.
I'm sure you will do a marvelous job presiding over your brother's trial, which, as I said, will be your very first royal duty. Your subjects await in the throne room for what is sure to be an historic occasion, Your Majesty.
The promise you made to Kaelin is now on the wall with the others.
I cannot tell you what joy it brings me to see you crowned king at last. I served proudly under your father when he sat on the throne, and I will continue to serve you to the best of my abilities. But becoming a ruler does not mean you cease to be a hero. That is why I shall remain in the sanctuary. It is where I belong, after all. And with this new, terrible threat approaching, you will no doubt find the sanctuary as valuable as your castle.
I'm afraid your property was irreparably damaged during the battle. If you don't spend your money, it will accrue. The lectern contains a record of all your recent transactions. Fancy a bit of counting, do you?
Transferring everything I have into my treasury. That way I can keep better track of it. So the money end goal for this game is actually 6.5 million. So I'm actually fairly close, because I'm at 5.5 million. So I only need 1 more million, and then I will be good to go. But there's many questions or like options in here that are going to take away from that balance. So in all actuality, you need about 8 million total, if not more, to completely have the good ending. There are a couple side things that you do for the crown that put money into your treasury.
I love that color of gold, and the brilliance is quite good. Hard to
That's why I
go
said
wrong
give or
with
take.
divine heaviness as well.
That's why I just do it like this, is since I don't have like access to the kingdom treasury yet, not until after the trial. I just go through into here. That way I don't have as many issues. And then as I get money and as it accumulates, I add it in and everything. There's some things that are like, oh, this is a good option, but I don't choose it mostly because it doesn't really play into any of the promises or anything like that. So I don't ever really play into that as much.
Ah, hello. Fancy a bit of counting, do you?
Now I can transfer this in there, which will put me over the 6 million mark, but the first choice is like 400,000. So I'm still going to be under 6 million after. Oh wait, since I did that, I can get the chest that is in here.
This room is quite enormous. I wonder how much work it will take to fill it.
So as you can tell, it's another dragon stomper. And then the guild tattoo stuff that my friend gave me. But yeah. time to do my first act as king.
All stand to attention for the King of Albion. Logan, former King of Albion, you stand accused today of crimes against the kingdom and its people. Those who brought you to justice will now speak.
There's not a soul alive in the kingdom who hasn't suffered for its glory, and plenty who've died for it. I says, let him have some death of his own.
Look, I'm not one for lopping people's heads off, but we saw Major Swift executed like it was a bloody circus act. He deserves nothing less as far as I'm concerned.
But aren't we better than that? Isn't that why we fought to be here now? I've seen what Logan has done to this city. People starving to death, children forced to work, but killing him now won't solve anything.
It is not my place to decide his fate, but his betrayal condemned many of my people to death. He promised us salvation, and then left us to face the darkness alone.
I had good reason to break that promise, and I had good reason for the crimes you claim I committed. The day I returned to Albion, I received a visit from a blind seer, Teresa, our father's guide. She showed me the future of this kingdom. The darkness in Aurora is coming here, bringing death, destruction, the end of our way of life. The sacrifices I had to make, I did them to protect Albion. If a few had to suffer, it was to build an army. If a few had to die, it was to save a country. I have spent years preparing for this attack. Let me stand by your side now, and all my soldiers will be yours to command. Let us face the coming darkness, together.
This is true. If it's really coming here, we are all in grave danger.
You have the power over life and death, brother. Now choose.
This is not the time for revenge. We need your help, Logan.
The king has made his decision. Logan's life will be spared.
I know you will never forgive me for the things I've done. You told me so once, remember?
Of course I do.
But what matters now is that we defend our land. The castle is yours, and so is the throne. I'm glad to be rid of them.
I always end up sparing him mostly because of the fact that if you don't spare him, you don't get any help from his soldiers or anything like that that survived. And yeah, it's an unpopular decision, but I don't know. I don't like the idea of killing family.
You have fulfilled the first part of your destiny. You were little more than a child when you left the castle. You have become a hero, a leader, and now, finally, a monarch. But your journey is not yet done. Now you are king. You can know the truth. Albion will soon be attacked, and the threat could not be greater. Darkness is coming to our land. It cannot be reasoned with, it cannot be halted. The ruler of Albion is all that stands between the world we inhabit and that darkness. That is why you had to take your brother's place. The course of history demands it. If you do not succeed, everything we know will come to an end.
Why didn't you tell me all this at the start? It was never about Logan, was it?
I told you what you needed to know, and I never spoke anything but the truth. With Logan on the throne, Albion would have been doomed. This much I know. Only with a hero wearing the crown do we stand a chance of survival.
And how do I stop it?
You won't. Its arrival is inevitable. 1 year from now, the darkness will fall upon Albion. All you can do is prepare, and hope to save as many of your people as you can. How you do so is up to you. Two paths lie ahead. You may keep the promises you have made and be known as a benevolent ruler, but understand that doing so will leave little to spend on the kingdom's protection and may lead you to disaster. It is not easy to be popular and keep the treasury full, unless you are willing to sacrifice your personal wealth. But you may also choose to break those promises, to harm your people in order to save them. You will not lack the means to build the army you need, but you will be hated. This path will cast you in the role of a tyrant, as it did your brother. You have 1 year to do what Logan could not. Be the ruler that readies Albion for the greatest threat it has ever faced, and be the hero that can stand against it.
I mean, that looks kind of like how the last hero would have looked. I don't know who the mother is, but whatever.
Your Majesty, I'm not sure what to say after receiving such news. The darkness that is coming. People won't understand what it means. Nobody could, without living through it first. We need to prepare. If we can't stop the attack from happening, we have to be ready when it comes. Having Logan's troops on our side is a good start, but you will need to raise a fortune to pay for the army we'll need. Hobson will show you the treasury, and I'm sure he can explain just how to fill it.
Indeed I can.
Then I will leave you to it. Ben and I will begin recruiting and training soldiers at once.
If you will follow me, Your Majesty. Oh, how I have looked forward to this moment. This is it, Albion's royal treasury, the store of the kingdom's total wealth. It's, well, not as replete as one would like, but just imagine this room shimmering with hills, valleys, and plateaus of gold, a topography of riches going all the way up to the ceiling. It will require nothing less to build this army everyone is talking about. Which brings us to the second item on today's agenda, and one I'm personally very excited about. Setting the tax rate for the coming year. As you probably know, your brother was taxing the people rather heavily, and some say that this has led to poverty, starvation, and other societal ills. You have 3 clear choices, Your Majesty. 1, lower the tax rate, which one could argue would help the poor and the hungry, but would also leave the treasury in a miserable state. 2, maintain Logan's policies. Not a popular move with the people, but moderately popular with the Treasury. And 3, and don't let my enthusiasm influence you in any way, raise the taxes even further. True, many will suffer in the short term, but we will be able to protect the kingdom and run our fingertips over vast amounts of gold in this very room. What will it be, Your Majesty? Very well, Your Majesty. Well, how very noble. Yes, I suppose noble is the word. How very noble of you. The people are no doubt dancing in the streets, and we are bankrupt. You will need to be more ruthless if you wish to save the kingdom, Your Majesty. There are other, less salubrious means of filling the treasury, of course. You may donate your own gold, should you have enough. Though I must say, such charity is unheard of. However you decide to proceed, you should acquaint yourself with the Royal Ledger. It is a logbook that allows the reigning monarch to make deposits and withdrawals from the treasury. A most useful financial tool. But my, look at the time. You really ought to attend to the next item on today's agenda. Riva has a most intriguing proposal for you in Bowerstone Industrial. Now, I know you have had your differences, but it is time to put those behind you and work together. Nobody can raise money like Riva can, I assure you. I have seen to it that your appearance among the populace is well publicized, so expect a crowd.
Welcome to the...
I want people to like me, so I'm going to set everything to low for the time being. And then when I get closer to my goal, I will just sell all the houses and live off of the shops. see. What do I have this set to? You guys will be neutral with me. Millfields can continue to be at the highest. I think you guys are at normal. Yep, that's everybody.
Sanctuary. Ah! Now that you own a second house, you can move your family into it if you like. Hello.
Don't tempt me, Weaver.
Oh, happy day! His Majesty, the King of Albion, graces us with his radiant presence. I knew last time we met that you would emerge victorious from such public sibling rivalry. And now, here I am, to assist you in filling your coffers till they are fit to burst. What better way to begin your reign than by reinstating one of my most successful policies? There is no greater waste than the idleness of our city's youth, but my employment scheme guarantees children of all ages will have something to occupy them, whilst ensuring our factories are properly manned.
It's just monstrous. Don't listen to him. You promised you would end child labor. Remember that promise now.
And what would you have us do with the snotty little indigents?
The only way Bowerstone is going to climb out of the gutter is through education. Nothing is more important to our future than that. Turn this factory into a school. Give the children of this city the chance they never had.
A school? Well, that's an original thought. Well, if you'd like to be known as a pauper monarch, then by all means, listen to her. Reaver Industries will abide by your decision.
The factory will become a school.
Thank you. We can really start changing people's lives now. This will be an Albion worth fighting for.
I shall begin the necessary modifications at once. Welcome to Reaver Industries Learning Center, Bowerstone Industrial's first ever school. You can now feel secure in the knowledge that your children can become the well-educated automatons you always wanted them to be.
That's silly. Pigs aren't made out of iron. I know. Ate one yesterday.
At your service.
Let me know if I can help.
Ah, hello. Fancy a bit of counting, do you? Just doing a bit of bookkeeping, eh?
Satisfy your food cravings here. My lord.
Hi. I'm your daughter.
This is for you.
See? I'm so glad you came back. I've missed you. Have you noticed how Mummy's always...
I was just thinking about you, my love. As always.
I love it when you pick me up, you know? Oh, pick me up! Yay!
Oh, there.
Congratulations, you've made a friend. In addition to being jolly good company, friends can give each other gifts and even discounts at shops that they own.
You're the king.
Ah. Yes.
You always know just the right thing to do. Greetings, most munificent.
Yippee! Awaiting your command, my lord.
I trust you're well, sir.
Where
At your
is
command.
my wife? Is she down in the kitchen? No, there she is.
Nothing feels better than having your hand in mine.
Woohoo!
Well, isn't that top hole?
Oh, I could do this forever.
Hello.
Why, hello, Your Majesty. Wahey!
Greetings, Your Majesty.
You're the... Nothing feels better than having your hand in mine.
At your orders, sir.
I could do this forever. You have just read my mind. Oh, yes. My love, yes.
They're doing the bouncy
I
time.
never want it to end.
Daddy, it's nice to have you back home. Oh, wow.
Greetings, sir.
Majesty.
Everything all right, Your Majesty?
All stand to attention for the King of Albion.
Salutations, mighty prince.
Today, you will decide what is to be done with the Bowerstone Old Quarter, site of the Battle for Albion. Paige will offer her proposal. Riva shall stand against her.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, our victory came at a great cost to the city. You vowed to fight poverty, but our actions have made the problem worse. You must act now. I ask that the old quarter be rebuilt, and its former residents rehomed. You wouldn't just be helping those in great need. You'd be sending a message to your people. They're scared, Your Majesty. Let them know they can count on you.
Your Majesty, the Old Quarter was indeed devastated by your glorious triumph, but as its name subtly implies, it was old. The cost of rebuilding the area would be a colossal waste of money, and the people who called its decrepit shambles of streets and houses their home are better off without it. Besides, one must question what they have to offer our society. Why build homes for the inept and the unskilled? I recommend you reject Paige's proposal and keep the money for more deserving endeavors.
It was our actions that caused the devastation, Your Majesty. But the final decision rests with you.
We destroyed the old quarter. It's only right we rebuild it.
The king has reached his decision. The old quarter shall be rebuilt, and its former residents will have their homes returned.
Thank you, Your Majesty. This will be a very popular move.
I suppose there may be something to be gained by rebuilding part of the city. It shows our sense of industry has not yet been dampened. Very well, Your Majesty. Despite the current climate of fear and great national need, Riva Industries has once again struck a blow for the honest man on the street. The sad sight of the decayed and war-torn Old Quarter is no more. We are proud to present the new Old Quarter.
It breaks one's heart to see the treasury so empty. If we don't do something about it, we will all die. And I have some very definitive retirement plans. As a matter of fact, our very first order of business might have a bearing on our financial situation. The time has come to decide the annual town guard budget. As you can imagine, the people like to complain about crime and the lack of safety on our streets, and are calling for more guards than your brother was ever willing to pay for. You have 3 choices, Your Majesty. Leave the budget as it is. After all, the people have grown accustomed to murder, theft, and contraband. Increase the budget and fill the streets with soldiers keeping the peace. A rather costly solution. Or take a more considered approach by lowering the budget. For what is the point of a safe, well-policed kingdom when it is too poor to protect itself from certain annihilation?
You know, I've never actually gone with the neutral one for this one, so I'm going to try that one this time.
Indeed, Your Majesty. Why make any changes in such an innocuous matter? So people don't feel safe. Is that such a terrible thing? Let us now turn our attention to the rest of today's business. Here is the royal schedule I have prepared. As you can see, you have a busy day in the court, but a tremendously enjoyable one. Decoration is a passion of mine, and I simply cannot wait to see your choice. The interior designers await you in the throne room.
my king. Attention!
At your service, my king.
How are Majesty? You, Majesty? I trust you are well, sir. Greetings, Your Majesty. Greetings, sir. Ah, Your Majesty. Hello. At your orders.
Yes,
At your service, my king.
Sorry about that. I had to step away for a second.
His Majesty, the King of Albion.
Fun fact, for any of you who want to play this game later, if you wear the chicken suit when you go to sit on the throne, it unlocks an achievement.
Today you decide on the decor of the castle. Two of Albion's greatest interior designers have come to present their suggestions.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I am Herman Worthy, and I have a design in mind that will blow your little royal socks off. Imagine a celestial scheme capable of lifting the shadows that haunt these halls. A fabulous balance of serene hues that announce to the world, I am a strong, virtuous leader. Hear me roar. But also, look how pretty my home is. You are an enlightened king. Let the heart of your castle be enlightened too.
Celestial? Serene? Pretty? Do you wish to be known as a ruler or as a fool? I am Sybil Maleficent, Your Majesty, and I can tell you that people respect what they fear. This castle should be a fortress of dread. I propose that we flood the rooms and corridors with blood, or at least a suitable paint substitute. Let all those who look upon this palace know terror, whether they be your subjects or your enemies.
It may seem trivial, but appearances can affect the opinion of the entire kingdom. The choice is yours, Your Majesty.
Of course, I'm going to go with good decor because I've seen the design of the other one. It is gross.
I wish this to be an enlightened castle.
Oh, fabulous, Your Majesty, fabulous! Your castle will be a vision of purity.
And what's more, fashion and good taste must choke down their nausea.
Majesty.
Today you decide on the future of Aurora, Your Majesty. Kaelin will speak for her people. Reva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
I am here to seek the protection you promised. It is too long since my people felt safe, or knew of life without suffering. We were honored to join your fight to claim Albion. Now it is time we joined your kingdom. Do what your brother failed to do. Help us to rebuild Aurora and protect it as you would your own land.
There is nothing so noble as embracing other cultures, and I, for one, could not be happier to count Aurora as part of Albion. But surely they must work for that privilege, and I happen to know just how to put them to good service. There is an abandoned mine in the Auroran desert that holds enough materials to benefit the whole kingdom. Let us employ Kaelin and her people to gather what resources there may be. That can be their payment.
You are talking about forced labor.
Well, let's not get bogged down in semantics. It's a fair transaction.
I know you will not break your oath. You understand what we have been through.
The choice is yours, Your Majesty.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of forced labor in any situation.
I will keep my promise. Aurora will become part of Albion, and its people will be our equals in every way.
The king has spoken. Aurora shall be rebuilt as part of Albion, and equal to every other part of the kingdom.
Thank you, Majesty. You have proven to be a man of honor. Aurora is proud to stand at your side.
Welcome to the new and improved Aurora. An oasis of friendship, camaraderie, and many other lovely things. Visit the city that Riva Industries rebuilt from sand, stone, and corpses. Enjoy the sunshine, the odd local customs, and the heavy soldier presence. Aurora, a light blooming in the darkness.
A most brave decision in court today, Your Majesty. Aurora might have proven to be a rather profitable resource, but I'm sure we can find other means of filling the treasury. As a matter of fact, we could already have stumbled upon such an opportunity. Aurora may not turn out to be a waste after all. It seems that a group of Albion explorers visiting Aurora have discovered a rare diamond in the desert. They heard the legend of this extraordinary gem from the locals, and understandably set out to find it, without a moment's regard for their own lives. Which may go some way to explaining why only one of the explorers returned in one piece. He came back empty-handed, speaking of the hideous desert beings protecting the treasure. Think of the glory, Your Majesty, the adventure, the romance, the large sums of money we stand to make. The diamond is located in one of the caves beneath the Auroran wasteland, reportedly the site of an ancient, abandoned temple. You need only to take it.
Ah, hello.
Alright, I will be right back, you guys. I have to make a bathroom break.
Are you going to open that gift, do you think? You did go to some trouble to get it, I remind you. A new gift has arrived. You have a decidedly noble air about you. It suits you. Can I get you something to eat? Ah, hello.
Alright, everyone, sorry about that. I am back. As you can tell, I am now buying stuff in Driftwood. I always move into Sparrow's cabin because, well, the hero's father. Also, sorry if I seem a little out of breath. It's because I kind of am. Let's see. I have everything back in Old Quarter. Alright. I am going to actually stop and do a couple of demon doors really quick. That will help me get money. This one in particular helps me get like 1 million. And all you have to do is be, well, king or queen.
Your Royal Highness, I am your most loyal subject. Well, there is this fellow called Andrew, but after him, it's me. The secret I bear is as secure now as it was when it was entrusted to me many thousands of years ago. It's actually more secure now than it was then, because even I don't know it. Well, this is a bit embarrassing. I'm going to go now. If I remember it, I'll give you a hollow.
Pools of Sorrow. Using this money to help me buy out Aurora will definitely help. And then putting the rest of it in the treasury also would very much help. See? 1 million.
Welcome to the Saint.
You know, I should have done the demon door here. You know, I'm going to adopt a child really quick. That way I can do it.
Good to see you, sir. My lord.
Hello, your royal majesty.
Oh, thank you. Don't know what I did to deserve that, but alright.
Hey there, your majesty. We're ready to be impressed, your majesty.
Mom, it's got tentacles. I don't eat things with tentacles.
Let me go up to the adoption. Peter the orphan. He is childish. Andrew the orphan. Childish, cowardly, nervous, shy. Kate. Childish, naughty, aggressive. Nah. Bill. Childish, serious, obedient. Childish.
Are you an adventurer? I bet that no monsters would dare mess with you.
No, boy, little Emma isn't a ballroom. Hi there. And you
Alright. Go ahead and put you guys in here.
Congratulations. I'm certain the joy this child brings you will be unending.
Some nights I get cold. I get to go to a home. They don't always have extra blankets. Thanking you, Daddy. I'm the best little girl.
Well, that's all sorted out.
Any other?
There we go.
Hello there, I'm the nanny. I'll look after things whilst you're off adventuring and that.
Dad!
Daddy, it's great to see you.
Oh, you're back.
I'm really happy
Hooray!
you came back.
Molly said
At
it's
least
too
we
bad
get
I
to
don't
eat
live
every
with my
day.
real family.
Although we
And
don't
I
see
said,
you that
I
much.
do live with my real family, and they love me. Don't squeeze too hard.
Let's go with Liz.
Have you been on lots of cool adventures?
Wahey!
Couldn't be happier with how things are, Your Majesty.
Where are we going?
It's the great
Are there
ruler.
animals there?
Hello.
Greetings, your
Well
majesty.
met, my lord.
Well, hello there. I could use your help, you know, cleaning up the streets.
I used to open myself to the world when it was different, happy, prosperous, peaceful. But that world is gone, and today's is a tragic and horrible place. I find myself feeling protective, sad, closed off. Is there anything left that is not evil and corrupt or broken and miserable? Anyone who is still innocent, pure, happy? The sight of one such person, no matter how small, would do so much for my spirits. I would open myself to the world again. Oh, look at her. She's beautiful. She is absolutely... I cannot find the words. I had forgotten what beauty was, but this child... Oh, she is just... I mean, I cannot even... Thank you both. I will now... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's just so innocent, so sweet. It felt good to let it out. Maybe there is still some goodness in the world. Maybe... Oh, I think I heard something.
Ooh, this should be brilliant.
Welcome.
Alright, let's see. I think the only other one I can open right now is... I think the one in Aurora. Ooh, there's a key right here. Sorry about that. There's the demon door.
You are transcendently good. You are so holy and completely noble. You virtually glow. In fact, you actually glow. You are an angel, and I applaud your commitment to your chosen morality. Well done.
The mortal view. Or the moral view. The equalizer. The Ward of the Woods used this rifle to drive away the evil denizens that lived within the forest of Albion. Alright. finish buying this out, and then I can send the rest of it off to my treasury. Surprised we haven't gone under the 1 million yet. All right.
Fancy a bit of counting, do you?
Transfer to treasury.
Have you some financial concerns? Any other business to attend to? Ah!
I'll just let that build as I play.
Majesty.
Always having to dig, 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 dig. So after I get this diamond, I am not going to fight anything. I am just going to run. Mostly because it takes a long time if you just stay and fight. Well, after I defeat the initial Sand Furies. Alright, now I am just going to run.
Hey!
Gotta pet my dog.
Who's a beauty? Hey!
Welcome.
At your service. Greetings, sir. Hello, sir.
Fancy a bit of counting, do you? Just doing a bit of bookkeeping, eh?
At your orders. Attention!
My lord.
Your Majesty.
Greetings, sir.
It's more beautiful than I dared to imagine. And heavy, too. Our experts estimate it's worth a small fortune. Of course, now the question becomes, what do you wish to do with this fine stone? Shall I deposit the money from the sale into the treasury? Or perhaps you would prefer the funds were channeled into, let us say, a more personal account?
To the treasury,
selfless act. I am constantly in awe of your generous and noble spirit. Putting the safety of your people before your own reward. Bravo, your majesty. Bravo. You have shown yourself to be a most talented monarch. The treasury is positively overflowing. You might even consider borrowing a little for yourself. Of course, it never hurts to earn even more. Who knows what the future will bring? With that in mind, I would like to discuss the thorny issue of child benefits, which were abolished under your brother's rule. There are vocal elements within the community who are clamoring for us to bring it back. In the interests of the Treasury and of the long-term welfare of the people, I have a counter-proposal. It's somewhat radical, but rather brilliant, if you don't mind me saying. We charge people for every child they have. This would keep the population low, but more importantly, the Treasury high. Is it really fair to bring new life into such an uncertain world? And won't that gold go to help the children who have already been born? Of course, you may also choose to keep Logan's policies. The matter is entirely in your hands. Very well, Your Majesty. The breeders amongst the rabble will be ecstatic, I'm sure. Perhaps you are considering making a personal donation to the Treasury to make up for the shortfall. It is entirely your decision, as always. Shall we proceed with the rest of your appointments? Here is the royal agenda for the day. As you can see, you have 2 audiences in the throne room to begin. I've heard rumors that Reva's latest proposals are both scandalous and delicious. It should be most entertaining.
First, let me go find my wife and see if we can have another baby. You didn't hear me say that.
Hello there, Your Majesty. At your command. Attention! At your service, my Your Majesty. Hello.
I could do this forever.
Hello. Are you going to stay home long this time? Don't go without me, Dad.
Yippee! At your command.
What's the hurry? You have just read my mind. Oh, yes. My love, yes. This is for you.
Oh. Oh.
I want you to have this. I never want it to end.
Oh. Yes. Yes.
This is for you. I want you to have this.
Dad!
That's very sweet. And wouldn't you know it, I like sweet.
We're not one. Pick me up!
Oh.
Wow!
Oh, there. Hey, woo!
I still can't get over it. You finally become the king I always knew you'd be one day. And here I am, right by your side. You're the king everyone hoped for, including me. The people love you almost as much as I do. You get this look sometimes, and I don't know what you're thinking about. But I just want you to know, you're nothing like your brother. If you were, I wouldn't be here. That is amazing. I was...
Hello?
Just thinking about you, my love. As all...
I can fully upgrade my melee. which means I can open another demon door when I have a moment.
All stand to attention for the King of Albion.
Hail to thee, beloved Majesty.
This hearing concerns the future of the Bowerstone Shelter and Orphanage. Paige will speak for the disenfranchised people of the city. Riva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, the shelter has long been the only refuge for the homeless, the poor, and the orphaned. And until we can change the whole world for the better, it will continue to be their only hope of survival. Isn't it time we held out a helping hand to those who need it most? The shelter is underfunded and the building has fallen into disrepair. Invest in the shelter and orphanage, and perhaps we can begin to create a better future for Albion's forgotten people.
I could not agree more. The city and its people are in dire need. But it is not charity they require. It is love. I propose we use this dilapidated building to help both them and ourselves. For love and money have always gone hand in hand. Let us inaugurate Bowerstone's first brothel.
A brothel?
Brothel, bordello, whorehouse. The name is unimportant. What matters is that the people get the love they need, and we get their money.
Yes, it's for your majesty to decide. Refurnish the shelter and orphanage, or convert it into a house of ill repute.
Renovate.
The poor of this city have suffered enough. We will renovate the shelter and orphanage.
The Bowerstone shelter shall be refurbished at the Crown's expense.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You've done the right thing.
As you wish, Your Majesty. The parentless tykes and their destitute friends shall have a palace to call their own. Are you a beggar, too lazy to own your own clothes, or perhaps an orphan aching for a bowl of gruel? Then come to Riva Industries Shelter and Orphanage, where you'll find food, beds, clothes, and even new parents. No matter who you are, we care, even if you don't deserve it.
Today, you will deal with a pressing environmental issue, the disposal of the city's waste. Riva will offer his proposal. A member of the Morningwood community will stand against him.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I'm sure you will have noticed a certain aroma permeating the city of late, even more nauseating than usual. I fear it is not merely the stench of the underprivileged. Bowerstone is beginning to have a serious waste disposal issue. We require an inexpensive and efficient solution, and I believe I have hit upon one. Now, currently, part of our waste is being disposed of in the Morningwood Marsh. With very little effort, Riva Industries could redirect all of the Bowerstone sewer system to flow directly into that region. As you know, it's a desolate place with no financial or cultural value to the kingdom. There can be little discussion as to the logic of this decision.
Hang on, this isn't right. Not right at all. We're all children of the soil. It's in our hearts, it's in our blood. It's under our fingernails. What I mean is, we're all equal when it comes to dirt, like. From dirt we come, to dirt we go, yes? We who reside in Morningwood have as good a claim to being clean as anyone. And what of Morningwood itself? Its nature spirits, its woodland elves, and water fairies. Do they not deserve freedom from pollution too? Don't destroy paradise with your urban dregs, man. Channel the waste. Be one with the cycle of life. You have all these, like, factories and stuff, don't you? Turn one into a, you know, what do you call it? One of those things, a sewage reclamation facility. Right on.
What shall you decide, Your Majesty?
Sewage plant.
Morningwood is to be left unspoiled. We will find other ways to deal with Bowerstone's sewage problem.
The king has spoken. Morningwood shall not be used as a waste site. The sanitation committee will look into safer alternatives.
Groovy. You are like a majestuous eagle, Your Majesty. You are in touch with your inner innards. Granny Nature thanks you from, like, the bottom of her heart.
A pity. I must admit I was rather looking forward to breathing fresh air, but I'm sure Your Majesty knows best.
I do know best, so screw you, Reaver.
There is nothing as important as the health and hygiene of our citizens. As such, Reaver Industries is delighted to announce the opening of the Bowerstone Sewage Recycling Facility, because there can be no affluence without effluence.
The day is almost over, Your Majesty. Only one more appointment left. Page has requested a meeting in the old rebel headquarters. How very cloak and dagger. I wonder what she wants.
Long live the king! At your command.
At your orders.
Hello, Daddy. It's nice to have you
Hello,
back
sir.
home.
At your service, my king. At your orders, sir.
Yes! Yeah!
Yes, yeah!
Yay! Yay!
My lord.
You can't buy it if you don't have enough gold.
Oops, I forgot.
Ah, it's the great ruler. Hello.
That's a fine item. Thank you for your custom. I hope I can make a profit on that. Come back if you have anything else to sell. Come back if you have anything else to sell. Always happy to buy your unwanted items.
Is all well, my lord?
Thank you for your custom.
Our owner is famous. That means we're better.
Buy your wares here. The shop owned by one of Albion's most famous adventurers.
Come back if you have anything else to sell. Let me buy your unwanted items. Fair price paid. That's a fine item.
Lovely outfit.
Come back if you have anything else to sell.
Thank you very much. Come back anytime.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice. Pleasure dealing with
Do you have anything I can buy off you?
No one on Bowerstone has better
I
products.
bet you're the
handsomest jog in the
Thanks for that, love. Hail to the beloved Majesty. Shop again. It's
My king.
It's for you, Your Majesty.
Hip, hip, hooray!
I love living here. The rent prices are so low. That's a great
This
look
is
for
for you, Your Majesty. Oh,
Spend your way to happiness in my shop.
For king and country.
My parents were beggars, but on a street that wasn't nearly
your
this
command.
nice. Hello, your lordship. Oh, thank you. I'm going to spend this on food. Better to clean up our own sewage, I guess, rather than just dumping it in Morningwood. Here you are, then. The finest wares in Albion. Fill up your belly with our foodstuffs.
A tattoo lasts forever, so I worked out a design.
Oh, I didn't expect to see you here. Your Majesty.
Hooray!
Watcha, Your
What's going
Majesty.
I hear Reba didn't want to rebuild the old
You
quarter.
can't beat it there.
The hero
Thinking of
is in
moving when I
charge
get enough
now.
gold together.
Sorry, I was reading up on something really quick.
It's not
Let's
every
continue.
day a king walks into the rebel headquarters. You've changed the world since we last stood here.
You had a lot to do with it, Paige.
But we still haven't changed things enough. Without Logan's troops, crime is becoming a serious problem. There's one man in particular, Nigel Ferret. He's making this city his own. Every criminal in Bowerstone reports to him now. He's too powerful for me to deal with, and he's not easy to find. But I know how you can get to him. Good. Kid went undercover with a gang of robbers and found out their plans. They're going to strike the tavern in Bowerstone Market. If you get there in time, you can stop the raid. And at least one of those thugs must know where Ferret is holed up.
Okay.
Welcome to the sanctuary.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to break this up into 7 parts because I am once again exhausted
That appears to be all of
to
the
no
gifts.
end. I don't know why, but I've only been able to like
Fancy a bit of counting, do you?
get like 2 to 3 hours of sleep at a time.
Some financial concerns?
So once again, I'm gonna let my money accumulate. And then I will come back to the stream later. I hope you guys have enjoyed so far. I know I have. There's not much left in the game, so the last stream should be fairly short. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.